Hi everyone and welcome back to Global Explained. Today, what you're about to see is something absolutely insane. Just recently, Israel launched a massive unprecedented attack on Syria. We are talking about videos emerging of their main government building, the very seat of their president's power being struck. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is Israel bored? Has it been a week without a major conflict, so they just decided to hit Syria? But the truth is far more complex. And to truly understand what's happening in Syria today, you need to know about a special, often mysterious religious community, the Druze. Very few people know about them. They are a deeply private, deeply unique community, and recently it's their issues, their protection, that led Israel to essentially declare it's time to destroy Syria. First, let's look at the current situation. Syria, the country from which all the shocking videos are coming, is facing heavy bombardment from Israel. Just look at this footage. You'll find dozens more taking to online Damascus. Syria's capital is under heavy attack. On the map, you can clearly see Syria shares a significant border with Israel. And if you are wondering why Israel is suddenly attacking, we need to dive into the population demographic of both countries, and specifically the Druze. Israel's population is roughly 9 to 10 million. Syria's is about 23 to 24 million, but in both nations you'll find a small unique group, making up only about 1 to 3% of the population, the Druze people. D-R-U-Z-E. The Druze faith is incredibly unique. It's one of the few religions in the world where you cannot convert into it. Think about it. Most world religions welcome convert. You can become Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist. Conversion is common, but Druze people believe their religion is special. You can only be born into it. You cannot convert and become a part of their faith. That's why, throughout history, the Druze population has always remained small, and it's incredibly rare for them to marry outside the religion. We are talking less than 0.1% of cases. They predominantly marry within their own community. Their religion is also quite mysterious, focusing heavily on philosophy and spirituality. It's not a religion that actually seeks to proselytize or gain new followers. Now, here's where Israel comes in. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister, has openly declared that Israel defense forces will always come to the protection of the Druze people. Why? Because the Druze, whether they are in Syria or other parts of Israel, are likely pro-Israel. For months, even years, Netanyahu has repeatedly stated that if Druze people are persecuted anywhere, the Israeli defense forces will act. So the next obvious question is, are the Druze in Syria, that 2-3% population, being persecuted? The answer, unfortunately, is a resounding yes. As many of you know, Bashar al-Assad government in Syria essentially collapsed, and he fled to Russia with his family. Syria now has a new president, Ahmed al-Sarraj. While President Ahmed, upon taking power, publicly stated he would protect all religious groups, that was merely rhetoric. On the ground, Christian and especially the Druze community faced several atrocities. A recent incident near the Golan Heights proved to the tipping point. You need to understand the Golan Heights. It's a Syrian territory occupied by Israel, and is home to many Druze communities. Israel also sees the Druze as critical to their future expansion, to the eventual Greater Israel, as they form a community that could expand with it. Suddenly, loyalists of the new Syrian president began attacking the Druze. The moment the Israeli defense force learned of this instance, they knew they couldn't waste time. When a religious community is already as small as 3%, their genocide becomes terrifyingly easy, because their number are so low. The Druze community is incredibly vulnerable. So, without hesitation, the Israeli Air Force began attacking Damascus directly. The message to Syria's new president was clear: harm the Druze community, and all of Syria will be destroyed. Now, while the protection of the Druze is a tested stated reason, some critics of Benjamin Netanyahu offer an alternative theory. They argue that Netanyahu is currently facing corruption charges in Israel, and is urging this new conflict as a diversion. As soon as the conflict war erupted, the corruption case tended to get put on the back burner. Now, whether you believe that allegation or not is up to you, but it is a significant claim being made. What I can tell you is that Israel is actively preparing for larger strikes on Iran. Reports are constantly emerging that Israel could launch a massive strike on Iran again at any moment, potentially even using its navy. Israel shows no signs of ending its conflict anytime soon. And here's something truly fascinating and unique. I have seen videos online of Jewish community or members in Syria who are being persecuted by their own government, climbing onto Syrian building and hoisting Israeli flags. This is incredibly unique because the Jewish religion isn't an offshoot of Judaism, it's actually an offshoot of Islam with deeper historical ties. Yet primarily Sunnis acting in Syria, and even Israel often targeted the Druze, and now the Druze community has become so pro-Israel that these incredible scenes are emerging. It's quite unbelievable what's happening today. And there's another layer. Some believe that fits into the vision of a greater Israel. While we don't know exactly when or how, it seems to be part of a long-term plan. And critically, Donald Trump's presidency, if he returns to power, could be historic for Israel. It's believed that as long as Trump is the US president, Israel will be able to fulfill all its geopolitical ambitions. Updates on this topic will certainly keep coming. If something major happens, like Israel deciding to annex a significant part of Syria, which is very much a possibility, we would bring you the news. Before you go, thank you for watching this video. That's all for today. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching again, and that's all.